would like to welcome you to Cooking Well at Mercy. I'm Executive Chef Christopher Damiani, and today we're going to be cooking well at Mercy, and we've invited Karen Kalenda here. She's going to help us out with our nutritional aspects. She's a registered nurse and also a holistic healthy cooking coach.
Very
Welcome,
good.
Karen.
Thank you so much.
All right, today we're going to be working with a special recipe, and it involves gluten-free cooking and vegetables. So lots of vegetables, and we're going to be working with gluten-free pasta. It seems in the past couple of years, something's changed, and that's why we invited Karen here today. Karen, are we different, or is the pasta different?
The pasta is actually different. The wheat is different. In 1960s, they genetically modified it. They didn't really crossbreed it with anything, but they altered it so that they could make it a shorter wheat that was thicker, so they would have a better yield. And along with that comes a little bit more of the protein, the gluten, and that's what's been causing a lot of problems with people today.
Awesome. Awesome. You know, I've been hearing about it, and I just don't know all that there is to know about it, and that's why I asked you here today. All right, today's recipe is a simple recipe. It is spaghetti squash with tomatoes, basil, and pine nuts. We're gonna finish it with some Parmesan cheese. We're gonna walk you through it like we always do. We're gonna give you your mise en place first. Mise en place meaning everything in its place, and from a chef's standpoint, it makes things a lot easier. It makes us go a lot smoother and faster, and that's what we want. So today we're gonna walk over, we're gonna check out everything we've got ready to go. We've got some Italian sausage, fresh zucchini, fresh red onions. We also have some fantastic gluten-free pasta. It's elbow macaroni we chose today. We've got some heirloom tomatoes. They're awesome heirloom tomatoes because they're golden, they're a nice color. We've got red tomatoes, they're also cherry, but we've got some fresh herbs. And Karen said, Chris, make sure you got fresh herbs today because I'm not coming on the set without them. So we got fresh herbs, we got some beautiful toasted pine nuts. We've got some spaghetti squash, which is rich in nutrients, all wholesome, all natural foods, locally grown, brought to us by our local purveyor. But moreover, we've got garlic, and we've got garlic that has been ground up with olive oil, and we've got Parmesan cheese and salt and pepper. So let's get started today. Let's look more at our technical mise en place. We've got I'm in my kitchen. I've got everything organized. I'm about to start cooking. Let's say it's 5:30, and I gotta get food on the table, but I've decided to go with a healthy meal today. I've got a saute pan. I've got maybe like 2 more saute pans because we are gonna take this dish and we're gonna make 3 dishes out of it today. One is gonna be all vegetable, one is gonna have a little Italian sausage in it, and the other one is gonna have a gluten-free pasta. That's what it's all about. We're gonna take one simple recipe, we're gonna make 3. All right, so we're gonna open up with some technique here. We're gonna talk about roasting. Roasting is essential. I'm gonna show you some imaginary time-lapse action. We've got these beautiful summer spaghetti squashes. They come whole in one piece. What we're gonna do is we've got it. I took a knife, I slit it in half, and you get this easy to work with squash. I put it face down in a pan. I'm gonna take that pan, I'm gonna put it in my oven for about 25 minutes, and when it's done, the skin is gonna change texture completely, and Karen's gonna show you that, and she's also gonna show you how we're gonna get it out of this shell, and that is a hard shell. Karen?
First, I just want to mention that we should be eating more vegetables than what we do, which is why we're introducing the spaghetti squash. And when it's finished cooking, you can just see indentations in the squash. Now, all I'm going to do, and after it's done cooking, is you take out all the seeds and you drop the seeds, because that's not something that you want to eat. And then you're going to just take a fork, and as you can see, these strands look just like spaghetti. So you just take your fork. Oh, look at how golden yellow this is. This is actually the color of a spaghetti squash. While it's growing, it's green, and then it turns white, and then it turns this lovely golden color.
I'm getting hungry right
look
now.
Look at this. It looks just like spaghetti. I know. So you're going to enjoy this. You're going to enjoy this.
Awesome. Awesome. So let's get back. We're going to fire up our small pot of water on our little stove top here. And if I can do it here on this little burners that we brought from one of the local stores, I've got my pan. And we talk about the heat, it's always medium-high heat. We like medium-high because when it's on high, you gotta stand by. When it's on low, you can go. Today we're on medium-high, so it's gonna give me a little room to work and some extra time, and I won't burn my ingredients. We're gonna start out with toasting some pine nuts. Pine nuts are awesome. They are a big part of my diet. Not just pine nuts, I should say, but almonds, walnuts, all nuts. I eat a lot of them in my diet. And I'm going to toast them, and Karen's going to talk to you briefly about all the good things that are happening now with the nuts that are available in all the markets. Karen, throw them in there, and I'm gonna toast them up.
Actually, nuts are very good for you. They're one of the better fats that you can have, but you need to portion control them. So it's good that you eat a lot of nuts, walnuts, and almonds.
I love
But to know portion control is 9 almonds is 1 serving.
No.
Yes.
No, I want a whole
It
can.
is. Well, then you're going to put some on
Oh,
your
I
hips.
feel
for
it
sure.
happening. Look at that. What color?
But pine nuts are really good for you as well. They're a good heart-healthy nuts. And they start to smell when you toast them.
They are. They are. And you know, if you do want to do them in the oven, we recommend 350 degrees, about 9 to 10 minutes. Try not to get caught up or distracted when you're toasting them, because by the time you smell them and realize you forgot about them in the oven, they're probably burnt. Very good point. Okay, so our nuts look good. They're toasted. The aroma's going. I wish I could shoot it through the screen and you could have smell-o-vision and smell the TV and how wonderful it is. Just can't do it. I'm going to put them aside, reserve them for later in our recipe. All right, set them aside there, Karen.
Yep.
Thank you. Oh, got some stuck in the pan there. Coming back to me. All right, there we go. All right, so we talked about the heat, our mise en place. We got all our ingredients ready. We're hanging out at the stove. Now is maybe a good time to have a sip of wine or something to take the edge off so you're relaxed, because you probably can't walk away once we start. So if we had a glass of wine, bon appetit. Here we go. We're gonna start by putting some olive oil in this pan. And the pan is on medium-high heat, and I will say that over and over again because I want the temperature to be right. I don't want to burn my food. Karen's gonna add in extra virgin olive oil, just about a tablespoon. She's able to measure that by eye as it spreads out in the pan. I'm going to gently swirl that fat around the pan, and that's gonna keep things from sticking, and it's gonna create a nice cooking surface. Now we're gonna turn back to our recipe, and we've got everything ready to go. Karen's gonna start by adding in the onions.
The onions. Onions are good, and you know, extra virgin olive oil is a good option too. We want to stay away from canola oils and like vegetable oils. Vegetable oil is what they make margarine out of. It has a lot of trans fats, so we don't want that. But the canola oil, that has been processed, and that's been processed with chemicals. So we kind of want to avoid that too, but extra virgin olive oil. And
Big canola guy back in the
you know,
early 80s
the way
and
they
90s.
make olive oil is they take the olive and they press it, and it's the olive oil that comes out. So that's why it's more healthier and heart healthier for you as well.
Awesome. Bring me the zucchini. More vegetables.
Zucchini's
Excellent.
good, and we took the
Throw the
seeds out
garlic
of
in
here,
there,
so
babe.
no one's
Oh.
going to burp today.
Burping. I was
All
thinking
right.
something else, but that's good. We took the seeds out, easily digested. We're going to add our garlic in here now. The garlic is fresh garlic, and we're going to add a lot of garlic because garlic adds the flavor, and it
Love
keeps
garlic.
you healthy. It keeps your blood going.
Yes, it does. It's
right?
good for your heart as well. It's an antibacterial
Excellent.
as well for your intestines. So it's
All right.
very,
So now
very
we're
good.
also going to put our pine nuts in here that we toasted. More food. I love it.
Oh, that smells good.
All right, and now I'm using a basic cooking technique that we teach a lot of our younger chefs when they're working stovetop. And what we're doing is jumping without using any utensils. We're just knocking it back. We let the vegetables get to the back of the pan, and then I'm gently going to pull backwards and throw that up in the air. And you can see that everything's mixing up very nice. I'm going to give it a little bit more of a stir, and then we're going to use a liquid to deglaze this. Deglazing is very important to bring the flavors together, to make this dish a dish that you're going to remember. Okay, a lot of times I'd recommend wine. I'd always add white wine.
Yes, that's
White
usually
wine
what you
for
add.
a vegetable dish.
Yep.
But today we're going to use just a touch of water, just to bring up those flavors. I think I got maybe a quarter cup of water. You can see it steam off. It's going to grab all those flavors from the sides of the pan. I'm going to gently swirl it around again and bring up all those flavors. I've extracted them now from the vegetables. I've got my pine nuts, my garlic. Oh, that's good. And now
That's
we're going
good.
to add our spaghetti squash in. Spaghetti squash is a strong vegetable because it's able to withstand the beating that I'm going to lay into it on this pan. It's going to stay together like spaghetti. So I'm going to be able to be pretty aggressive with this stuff. I can use a tongs, I can use a fork, whatever I want. I'm just going to spread it around, and then I'm going to jump it again. I'm going to throw it up and down in the pan. I'm going to lay into it with all I got as a chef. I'm going to get rough. Karen's going to back up because I don't want to splash her. All right,
Can you
I'm just
smell the
jumping
garlic?
it.
Smell the garlic and the
All right.
onions?
Beautiful. And look at that. So now it's all combined. And now we're gonna bring more color. So we've got our garlic, our onions, we have our zucchini, our squash, which is spaghetti squash, and now we're gonna add our colorful tomatoes. Add them in.
And the
Beautiful.
tomatoes are great. Tomatoes have lycopene, which
Beautiful.
helps us keep cancer away. So
Lycopene.
Lycopene.
Does that come in a multi-day vitamin, or do I gotta go out and cook?
No, you got to cook healthy
gotta cook.
vegetables. It's the whole idea here.
So I can't go out and get a multivitamin,
No,
right?
you need to eat healthy first before you
Can't cheat.
supplement. Yes,
So I got olive oil, I got veggies,
that looks awesome.
I got spaghetti squash, pine nuts. Do I really need to add meat to this, or would I be okay
No,
like
this
like
is a good vegetarian meal right here. It's
Yep.
got a rainbow of colors, and it's going to be delicious just the way that it is. But we are going to do some gluten-free pasta. We're going to add that to it, and then we're going to also add some sausage. So we've got 3 meals.
Wow, you're making me work hard today. I like it.
You know,
All right,
you
so-
only have 30 minutes to eat, right? When you get home from
it.
work.
That's
So
it. We
so
call
like
it the
a real
hurricane
quick
hour.
Hurricane hour.
And right now, I'm gonna finish the first dish and let Karen put the excitement to it. So all I'm gonna do is take a nice portion. We always recommend a portion size. I think 8 ounces is probably enough. We don't want you too full, because then you won't be able to have dessert. And you might, can we have dessert? Are we nutritionally, can we have it?
Yeah, fruit.
Fruit.
Fruit's a wonderful
All right.
dessert.
She's gonna finish that. The recipe calls for it to be finished with Parmesan cheese, fresh basil, and she's gonna garnish that up with maybe a few more tomatoes, a little bit more color to really make it grab you when it gets served to you. And we're gonna set this aside. So we've got our base dish is ready. So we're gonna start by putting a little sausage in the next pan. Karen's gonna add it in. It's a mild Italian sausage, and this is the meat part. I love meats in my foods. I feel good when I'm having meat.
Most men do.
I can't explain it. But we've got some sausage here. It's a mild sausage. We're gonna brown it up gently, and we're gonna fold this together, and we're gonna use the same dish that we have here to make another dish.
And we're using sausage, but you can feel free to use chicken, or you could even
Yep.
use,
Yep.
you know, beef if you want. It would be just as good. Yeah.
I like it. And I'm swirling, I'm jumping, I'm using basic cooking techniques, and I've only used one burner so far. But don't forget, I had to roast in my oven. I did a little toasting. So we looked at roasting the squash, we toasted the pine nuts. Right now we're doing saute. We're browning out the sausage. You can use any sausage you want. We just happen to be using a mild Italian sausage. It is Oktoberfest coming on, and we could use bratwurst.
Yes, you could use bratwurst.
Bratwurst.
Absolutely.
Any other meats you'd recommend in this dish?
Just, you know, chicken or beef would be good.
Could I
Yeah.
use ground beef?
Yes, you could use ground beef.
I could use ground beef?
Absolutely, yes.
Steak?
Steak, yes.
Steak?
Yes,
Lamb?
yes. Lamb.
Lamb? Excellent. All right, so we
Whatever.
got heat there. We're gonna finish our dish. This is our meat option. Add it all together. Now remember, we used one full spaghetti squash to get this. All right. Once again, we got some heat going. It looks good. I'm gonna gently toss. And we are almost there. Oh boy. I'm gonna use a little bit more water, just a touch to bring it around, to loosen it up. I wouldn't recommend adding any wine at this point because you wouldn't be able to cook out the alcohol, and you'd be serving some alcohol, possibly to some younger adults. And in New York State, you know, I think that's against the law, the last I saw.
Yes, it is.
All right, so this is done. It looks great. We're gonna plate it up. I'm gonna turn once again to Karen. She's gonna finish it off. I'm just gonna lay it on the plate, real nice. And she's gonna bring it to life with a little more love. Karen, there you are.
A little more Parmesan cheese and a little more of the
Parmesan
basil.
cheese.
And I'm actually going to put some more pine nuts too because those are really good.
All right,
Everyone's
there we
gonna
are.
love this.
Adding a little of our gluten-free pasta. And one of the things I'm gonna have Karen just expand on real quick is the gluten.
Yeah, well, I talked about the wheat before, so that's one of the reasons why we're offering the spaghetti squash, because it's a great alternative to white flour, white pasta, you know, white rice. We don't want to eat that because that's like eating a bowl full of sugar. And we want to stay low glycemic, we want to stay low gluten, we want to keep low cholesterol,
Yep.
we want to keep ourselves healthy. So this is a gluten-free pasta, and then we have quinoa pasta, which people may not know is a seed. It's an ancient seed from the Incas, and actually it has 9 of the essential amino acids in it, and those are the things that we cannot produce ourselves. So it's a complete protein. So you really want to get some of that and try that. It's very healthy for you. And
All right,
you know, Chris, I just want to mention too, like if you think you have a gluten problem, that you should really do an elimination diet. And do it for 2 weeks and then add the wheat back in. And if you're insensitive to it or intolerant to it, you will certainly know right away with bloating and gas and all those kind of things we don't like to talk about. But celiac disease is on the rise, irritable bowel syndrome, so people have
would I have
those things.
stomach cramps?
You would have stomach cramps, yes, you would.
Would I vomit?
Absolutely. No, you won't vomit.
I won't
you'll
vomit,
have
but I'd be
stomach
cramped
cramps.
over. All right,
Yes.
so I want you to give me some more basil in here.
Yep.
Throw some basil in there. Let's add a little more salt and pepper. And it looks great. I'm
I'm
excited.
putting a lot of basil in there because that's good. A little bit of salt, a little over the shoulder, remember?
All right.
And
All right,
a little
we're
bit of pepper.
Stir it in there. And we switch pans, and we switch to a sautoir, which has got high sides, keeping the
You can
ingredients
smell it.
hopefully in the
Smell
pan.
It's
We're
good.
gonna stir it up, and we're gonna plate it up. And oh boy, I like it. I like it a lot. Very, very nutritious, very simple. How long did it take us? Maybe 10, 12
I don't
minutes
know.
to,
Yeah,
to
exactly.
knock out 3 different dishes.
Exactly.
So one of the things as a chef I will point out is you could make the base recipe a day ahead. And then when you get home, you could add your pasta to it or your meat and finish off with a nice simple meal, really cutting your cooking time in half with your guests or your children or your loved one. We've got 3 beautiful dishes. We'd like to thank everybody at Mercy Hospital for making this event possible, especially Karen for coming today and helping me along and learning more about the things in foods that I don't see that are happening inside my body. Bon appetit, everybody,
Thank you
and
so
enjoy
much.
your day.